Hey everybody, Jamie with Unleashed Omaha. I'm going to do a quick video this evening on food refusal. So these are kind of the first initial steps of teaching your dog to leave it. Leave something alone, don't pick it up if it's not, don't eat it. You want them to leave things on the ground that are not for them. Usually what we do is try to set it up so that the only place that your dog eats is from you, from trusted family members, and from their kennel. That's it. If it's not one of your direct family members, and I don't even like getting in the habit of that. I like the dog to only be fed by a handful of people, and then in their crate from their bowl. So what I got here is I've got my dinner set out. This is Zimmer. He's really new. He doesn't even have any foundations or markers or anything. So it might be a little different at first, but we're going to show him by leaving the soup alone, he actually gets food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk towards the soup. As soon as he notices it and locks onto it, I'm going to wait for him to turn away, and then I'm going to mark it with yes, turn away, and reward him with food. I'm going to rep this a handful of times, just saying leave it, and then when he does, I'm going to mark it with yes, and turn around and walk away and reward him with food. And we'll explain the progression of the video and how you make it more and more difficult for your dog as the work goes on. But here's a little bit of a preview on how this work starts. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good boy, Sam. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Yeah. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Leave it. Yes. Boy. Good. Starting to focus on me and not even the soup that's laying right on the ground, right? So that's what we're looking for, is we're going to start having him giving us alternate signs, alternate options, other than going for the bowl of soup on the floor. So as this work progresses, we'll start taking food that isn't on plates, and we'll actually just put like leftover boxes, or we'll put actual just food on our walking paths. And as we approach, we set our dog up to have an option to take the food. We tell them leave it, they leave it alone, we say yes, and we reward them with food. As we progress in the work, we'll stop saying leave it, and you'll give that dog your option. If he forgets, you tell him leave it. But as you progress, you want to give the dog that opportunity to walk up, make a decision to turn away from the food. So he'll walk up, we don't say anything, he turns away from it, we mark it with yes, we back away, and we reward the dog. I'll continue doing this until I see the dog that I can walk right by the food, over the food, past the food, and the dog has no interest in what's on the ground. So and just get to that, like I said, you start taking the plates away, the bowls away, and you just start putting raw food, or something like a hot dog, or chicken, or leftover beef, or whatever it is. You start to, what does that really entice that dog to cheat on the leader command? And As you progress, you get further and further away from the dog. You start working on a long line. You'll just be walking towards the food. The dog shows interest. You tell him leave it. He moves away from the food. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. So before we progress to adding correction, or either an e-collar correction or a pinch collar correction, you gotta show the dog your option. You gotta show the dog how not to get penalized for his actions. You want to give that dog lots of options. So we start by walking toward the food. Eventually we graduate to the food, walking toward the dog, looking for that ignoring option. Once we've had all those multiple successful repetitions, we're talking 50 to 200 successful repetitions of the dog walking away from food, and then we start making it harder by offering the dog food, getting closer and closer, and expecting that dog. Now this comes with a helper that will shut access off to that food should the dog try to come after it, and then eventually we don't shut off that access, and we will actually punish the dog for coming in after the food after we've given them multiple repetitions of success, leaving the food alone. That's when we start bringing a little bit more of the aversion into the training. But until we have a dog who's successful in leaving food alone on their own and progressing to further distance away from that dog, or further away from the dog when they're walking, setting that dog up to make a mistake, and if they do, we're there to correct that mistake and show the dog what the proper option is. That's not without a lot of repetition of successful repetitions in feeding your dog, fading the leave it command to where you no longer have to say leave it. The dog just naturally turns away from the food. That's what we're looking for in the dog making proper decisions. Until then, and then eventually we'll bring in the use of an e-collar or prong collar, bring light pressure for the dog making a decision to advance toward the food, and then the dog slowly quickly realizes that the food is off limits at all times. Graduate to an electronic collar, work it out of sight, having strangers throw your dog's meat out of sight, things like that. We're looking for that dog, whether you are around or whether you're not around. We don't want our dogs taking food from anybody because, well, not everybody has the best of intents. It's one of those things where I would imagine it doesn't happen very often. But there were some cases in Council Bluffs this year of dogs getting poison through fences, and this is just something that you can really teach your dog. There's a really strong, useful command that if you can teach your dog not to drink antifreeze, you can teach your dog not to pick up anything out of the yard, whether it's food or whatever. We don't want our dogs taking that because we don't know what's on it, and we care for the health of our dogs and the safety of our dogs. So teaching them that they only eat out of their personal bowl and from you and trusted family members, and that is it, takes work. You have to show the dog many different pictures, and you have to give that dog a very generalized picture that no food from anybody is no food from anybody, whether it's the ground, whether it's taking it from strangers, whether it's somebody in your face with it. You do not take food from anybody ever. And once you have that, you have a nice poison-proof dog that you're not going to have to worry about anybody slipping anything over your fence and hurting your dog or anything like that. It is a very serious issue, and that's why I like to share this with you guys, because I want you to have this option. If you have any questions on this video, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to answer any of them right now. You guys have a great night.